Pressing the button, Mrs. Ryan.
Okay.
Don't worry about noise or anything. It's totally isolated. It's all good. Unless you can laugh, in which case please. Oh, Mrs. Ryan, it's almost not May anymore.
That's crazy to me. It is crazy to me how someone texted me yesterday, like, where'd the time go? I'm like, if you find it, tell me, because I have no idea.
Where on earth could it have gone? Where on earth could it be?
No one knows.
Running out of time. Hello there, Mrs. Ryan.
Hello,
everybody. Welcome back. Today is Thursday, April 30th, 2019. My name is Jay Ryan. This is Nicole Ryan. We are the Ryans, and this is It's Tonight's Show. Our guest tonight on ITS is a guy named Sean Winograd, and it's a guy we've been trying to get in here forever under some misunderstandings, some false pretenses, and then it turns out he's here for all of the reasons we would have wanted him for. We just didn't know. I reached out to him about, it was a year and a half ago? It was like whenever we first started doing this, having crossed paths up in the Malibu area in the cars and stuff, and saying, hey, we were just starting this, maybe get you in here just to talk about, I don't know, he seemed like a fellow car guy. I didn't realize. He said, oh, sure, no problem. Do you mind if I bring my friend Mike Brewer on? I found out he worked on Wheeler Dealers as a producer on that. He's worked on a bunch of different things and has been integral in, I think, helping other people get here. But he's all in the family. Like, he's wearing a Hunziker garb and the whole bit.
He sat down, and it was like we wanted to do the get-to-know-you small talk, but we had nothing to say, and neither one of us are like that. It was the most comfortable, warm hug of a hello.
What? Oh, you mean just because neither one of you're both low
We're
maintenance?
both chill, and then we could read for I've got Hunziker shoes on, he's got a Hunziker shirt on. It just evens the playing field right away of your personality. It was so chill and awesome.
All right. Well, let's see. With that, so we're excited. Sean's going to be here in a few minutes. We've got a couple bits of business to get through. Mrs. Ryan. People have been asking us where have the weekend videos been. I haven't been doing them. I thought it was a little bit too much of us. You know what I mean? In the whole bit. But I do have a what have we been up to lately?
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun stuff.
Well, it was 2 weekends in a row. We got asked the same question, and it was kind of all right, well, I'll just do one within 2 this week. Anyway, this is it, and it's there's nothing formal here. It's just what we've been up to. Roll it, Hal.
Spreading the word, it's kind of all appreciated.
I don't need 7 grams.
I love
That was an
What'd you think,
awesome
Mrs. Ryan?
video. This is some of my favorite photos, but like we've done some really cool stuff lately. I'm so glad you captured all of it.
I am glad we did a video after people asking because I wouldn't have thought of all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Same, yeah.
Yeah. So that was the reason we ended up doing it. So I guess that's on me to keep doing it. Don't get lazy.
Heads up.
I'm glad you like that. It was so nice to see the things I had forgotten about. You know what I mean? Only a week or so ago.
Yeah.
With that, one of the things I had forgotten about, of course, was the orange car with no wheels on it. So let us take a look back here on the East Coast and see what's up with that Casman and those wheels. Roll it, Hal.
Mr. and Mrs. Ryan, East Coast feed coming to you live here from the shop. As you can see, look at, bam, the 111 right next to the Danbury Chive logo on Mike's car. Here's Mike, there he is. And why are we here, you ask? This is the final chapter of giving him back his wheels since mine was stolen.
About time.
About time. Now he gets his real wheels back. As you can see, bam, Sub-Zero is getting a little summer wheels action. So that's about it. Just giving some random love from the shop. Mike's here.
Love you.
We love you guys. That's it. Hey.
Holy cow. Those cars.
So I'm guessing that between the lines there was that insurance got him new wheels, but his brother probably had a snow setup and a summer setup.
Well.
So he probably put the summer setup on the orange car while they, you know what I'm saying? Like there was none of that was explained, but that's what I've decoded.
I got
from.
that.
You got that too. Okay, great.
Well, I'm glad it's all fixed and getting taken care of. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Mikey, I just adore you.
He's the best. Firefighter, works with kids at the Y. I mean, he's just such a good human. Good family.
Yeah.
Mrs. Ryan, what were you going to say?
I only know pieces of that family, so I can't wait to know more of them as we get older.
and Brooke, we're going to meet Brooke soon, too.
I know.
With that, oh, gosh. Do we want to check in with the East Coast feed one more time, or should we get right to the news? I feel like we should get to the news, and we'll check in with them tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see them
right?
tomorrow.
All right. In that case, it is time to check in, Mrs. Ryan, and ask the question that's on everyone's mind. What's going on, Mrs. Ryan?
Scientists are now able to map the vibration and the hum of the industrial machines. That's kind of a constant on the Earth, but we don't really take it into consideration when we do.
Some of us are affected greatly by those hums.
Yes, and we are two of those people. But it's now being taken into consideration, and it's being worked into the equations. Dang. So it's super neat. They're just starting to map out where those... In astrology, they call it ley lines. It's like how the energy flows.
Well,
but
the Earth calls it ley line, too. They call it ley lines on the Earth, yeah.
Okay, well, it's similar then to that concept.
Theoretically, all of the you can map all of the world's most significant, call it Giza pyramids or the Inca. You can map all that stuff on the ley lines.
Yeah, I've heard that too. This just sounds like a bookworm version to map energy so that it can be taken into consideration when qualifying numerical equations like gravity and the pressure and things and stuff.
Gravity and the pressures.
Yeah. Those are the words.
No, that makes sense.
NASA had a power outage on the International Space Station.
Ooh. Had or?
They're big on redundancies. So this was one of it could have still worked. They were supposed to deliver a SpaceX car.
But it wasn't planned. It wasn't a planned
Correct.
outage.
It was oops, the coffee maker's not working.
You don't want that up there.
No. And so that's
the oxygen maker isn't working. Huh.
All I could think of was what do you do? And so their whole thing is redundancies and they have solar panels. This was like a switch that broke and I literally went into a panic mode of you're really
another
far
thing
away.
that is, we think of the International Space Station. Oh boy, it's so futuristic and new. It was built. I mean, I'm thinking of the '80s when I was a child, and it was up. I think they were building it then. So I mean, it's old, antiquated technology. The space shuttle ran on an 8086 processor. That was before an 8088, which was before a 386, 486, then Pentium. You know what I'm saying?
It's way smaller than phones now, right?
Oh gosh, yeah. Anything and everything is pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, well, I like to get lost in those
point being,
worlds.
switches are breaking. That doesn't really surprise me at this point.
No.
Even in Armageddon, which was in the 90s, it was old and busted. It was kind of old and junky then, wasn't it? Wasn't it kind of falling apart?
Yeah, it was a mess. I mean, it's
so
always
funny.
That's why I love that like stories are coming back from these worlds that like I don't know enough about, so it's just interesting. And that's kind of what this is about. Like, how do you lose a switch on the space station? Like, it made me nuts. Anyway, a 15,000-year-old footprint was found in Chile, and it's not the oldest one necessarily. There's like rumors of ones like 3,000 years, 3 million. Yes, but this is what's always the holdup. It's like, is it a footprint? Is it a human? What is it? How do you find it? What's the context? Blah, blah, blah. So this was actually found in 2010. But by some construction workers that were digging for new buildings and stuff in Chile. And they were like, wow, we've unearthed a lot of stuff that is kind of awesome. It's like treasure. So, and here's maybe a footprint. So it took a while to verify, but it's been confirmed that it's a footprint. So what it does, basically, there's a lot of different timelines of humanity and when we got places. This was in South Africa. It changes the timeline.
I thought it was in Chile.
Chile, sorry. It changes the timeline of when humans made it to the Americas by where they found it in Chile, like how long it would have taken. Is an interesting element to that story.
Cool.
But lastly, green...
Like the sound of that. No, I'm just kidding. The way you did it. No, the way you did it was cute.
Green sea turtles have been they've been dying off and the numbers have been dwindling, but they're coming back near Hawaii and some other American islands. So
we love those sea turtles. They're magical creatures.
Love them, and I think they're really old. But they
150, dude.
Total like that. What's the movie?
Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo. Yeah, I love it.
Crush.
So, whatever we're doing to kind of reintegrate, like they were counting eggs a while ago and that was looking good, but now they're finding like alive turtles are still prospering after a bunch of years. So, keep it up.
Yeah, I'm glad. In Hawaii, anyway, you're not legally allowed to touch them, I don't think, either. No. Unless you're a local doesn't do it. I think you actually have to be like native.
Native to the land, yeah?
I think so.
Yeah, so it's all we're all doing okay over there.
Yeah, well, that's great.
Good job.
Good job, Mrs. Ryan. And that's been What's Going On.
Oh yes.
Well, that top of show flew by, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Hopefully it did for you at home. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, Sean Winograd will be in here. Am I saying your name properly? I realized I should have checked that ahead of
Yes.
He's here. We're really excited to talk to him a few minutes before the show. He's very, very interesting cat. And a young guy. Really, really cool. Sean Winograd will be in here right after this. More to come. See you in a few.
what's your deal?
And a slow fade out. But with that, we are back with Sean Winograd. What's happening, man?
Doing good. Really, really, really happy to be here and excited. I love the show so much, so it's very cool. It's really an honor to be here.
Well, thank you for being here, man. It's really exciting because we've been trying for a while.
Yeah.
And you have been busy because of your work schedule for a while. You don't mind if my phone rings for a second here? I'll just take that right off. Turn the ringers off, everybody.
No, it's
Welcome to our home.
I love it. It's like so cool. I know everybody says that when they get here, but it's like
they do. But that's
amazing.
why we did it. So I love hearing it every time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Well, you're a production guy, so it turns out you were busy doing your producing the show that you work on, Wheeler Dealers.
Yeah, we just got done like a crazy run of episodes that are we're all really proud of. So
I think Mike told us when he was here, but you did like 27 episodes in a row.
Yep.
That's a lot.
Is that going to be split up into multiple series? Or
so yeah, I think the first 6 of them are live right now on Motor Trend.
Yeah, he's on the app.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So they come out weekly, and I don't really know what they're doing with the rest of them, but they'll be out shortly. And yeah, we're really proud of the cars we've done, and it's a lot of work to actually get not 27 because we do 3 best ofs, but 24 cars.
Yeah.
In a year, and they're all pretty unique cars, and it's
And you spent almost a year, right?
Yeah.
So it's essentially a car every 2 weeks.
That's great. The numbers are astronomical.
But it's actually probably more work than that because there's overlap and the production.
Yeah, you were saying there's like
post.
pre-pro and post and production at the same time.
Yeah, it's a crazy schedule. We have our co-EPs that are like amazing and juggle all that, and we just get to have fun with cars and tell the stories of the cars because it really is like Mike said, it's about the cars, and it's as a car guy and a young TV guy, it's really cool to be able to work on a project like Wheeler Dealers. We
amazing. Love Wheeler Dealers. We love Mike. We love Ant and the whole bit. But we are here to talk about you. How did you get into cars? You just said you're a car guy.
Yeah.
Have you always been into cars?
Yeah. So
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Manhattan Beach, which is right off PCH. Our house was like right off of PCH, so there was a constant stream of really cool cars going by our bay window, and I just got enamored with them. My birthday fell on the weekend of the Long Beach Grand Prix every year. So as a kid, it's like
a party.
Yeah,
that was your party.
Exactly. So really, going to that when I was really young, 8 years old, and then leaving LA, we left when I was like 12 and went up to Northern California, which gives you more space to actually play with cars. And I got into go-karts and all that, up north, and started learning mechanicals and all that.
You're really a car guy. You don't just like looking at cars. I mean, you know stuff about cars.
A little bit.
I fix them a little bit.
I like looking at them more than I like fixing them, which but I'm getting better. Yeah.
So Northern California, then you started stretching out and figuring out that okay, I'm really into this.
Yeah. So then I was doing a lot of racing, and I knew I wasn't
kart racing.
I knew I wasn't going to become a race car driver.
Why?
Just because of the amount of time and money and work, I wanted to go to school and get put education first, and then maybe later revisit that.
Loved it, but not willing to make that the path.
Yeah.
That makes
but
sense.
like dying to get back into it. That's
really
that's the real goal.
It's always there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In the back of my mind,
So
it's like,
cool.
when am I going to go racing? It's like, that's
Have you ever seen Ray Schaefer puts it up a lot, but the Atlanta Motorsport Park, they have the kart track there.
Yeah.
It's all the topography and everything.
Yeah.
Have you been?
Not to that track, no.
I haven't either,
no.
but I'm dying to go.
Yeah,
Ray, you have a lot of people that want to go.
Yeah. Group buy. Yeah. Sorry, I bet karting. Back to karting.
So did that, and then went to school for business. Didn't first year.
Whoa.
Didn't know I was going to do anything with cars or TV. I just knew I wanted to hopefully make enough money to afford a cool car or do something.
It wasn't that I have an aptitude and desire to go towards business. It was that I'm going to
I
pay
didn't
for my future hobbies.
Yeah, I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I
smart.
first got to school. And I was like kind of not liking business, and I was in advertising. Yeah,
I like that even less.
Yeah. So then I started like, how do I find some passion in this? So I started watching Mad Men, which is like an amazing show about advertising. And I realized
it's great about business too. You learn a lot about business and like what do you? Never mind. What do you call that when you have a negotiating?
Yeah. But I like realized watching the show, I wanted to make the show. I didn't want to actually do the the
advertising. You want to make
magic. Yeah, exactly. It was like this amazing story that they were like able to tell, and beautiful sets. And so I switched majors into that.
Into what?
Into television. Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry. I was a TV major in Philadelphia. So I went to Drexel in Philly.
That's a great school.
Wow,
Which is,
yeah.
So I left California. I was like, I need to
out.
go experience it. When I visited it, it was like 70 degrees, warm, sunny.
Oh no, our ants are in Philly.
Oh,
It
you
is
went on the one day of
frigid
the year
cold
where
and
that
when-
happened.
Exactly. So then I actually got there, for school, and it was like really cold. I was like, oh man, what have I done? There's definitely no racing, no
Sub-zero
no
or
cars.
humidity like 100%.
Yeah. So was there, didn't have a car at the time in school, and just that's when I really developed my passion for studying cars and like researching cars because I wasn't driving.
You had a lot of time.
I had a lot of time. Yeah. So it was.
So
in
you
school.
that's when you probably got a lot of the encyclopedic knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so just kind of reading as much as I could, watching as much as I could.
You're probably a very good researcher for that show you work on.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
remember staying up, like watching Wheeler Dealers. You know what I mean? That was like one of the staples
You
of my
did? That
of
was
my
like
nights.
your late night
Yeah,
jam?
yeah, I love
It's
Top
been
Gear
on a
and
long
Wheeler
time.
Dealers. Yeah.
How old are you? Can we
yeah.
say? Sorry.
I just turned 25.
Good for
Oh.
you, man.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, so
Jumping in.
right now, yeah, just having fun with it. Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So sorry. Please continue.
So anyway, I can go back to in high school. I made a really stupid decision to buy a car that I really wanted. I was like 15. I had saved up with like various businesses, and I bought a 1985 Ferrari 400i.
Excuse me?
Yeah. So
That's
old,
not only is that my favorite Ferrari, nobody even, it's the Rain Man Ferrari, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah.
what it
Yeah.
is? Yeah.
Oh.
and Daft Punk.
It doesn't
yeah.
look like a
No one
typical
ever
Ferrari. It's
calls
just-
that one out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what 15-year-old do you know who saved up enough money to
No.
buy one?
Well, so mine was a Chevy powered
Oh,
400i.
that's different.
So yeah.
Well, it
So-
looks great.
Yeah, so I was 15 years old. I was on eBay. There was a 400i with a Corvette engine in St. Louis, Missouri.
Wow.
And I was like, I told my parents, like, I'll learn how to work on cars. I'll learn how to fix this thing. And I dove in and like had an amazing like honeymoon period where it came off the truck and like took it for a long drive and then went to the gas station for the first time and it didn't turn back on. And like, even though it had the Chevy engine, it still had Ferrari qualities. That was,
Yeah,
like,
the
my-
electrical system and everything's
Yeah.
probably still
Yeah, that was like
Italian.
Yeah, that was my introduction into like classic cars and
Wow.
kind of dove right in.
Well, I'm guessing too, you probably didn't like take it easy on the car either because you're
Yeah, I was young.
feeling it out.
I was young. Yeah. So
Wow.
It was
All
a-
right. So then what? So then did you fix it? Did you keep it? What'd you do?
I fixed it for a while. I kept it into
Fixed it a few times.
Yeah, into school. Right, I was at school right 2012, 2013. And the market was starting to pick up on those, even though it had the Chevy engine. So I was like, I can't afford to keep this.
Somebody will find the motor.
I'm in
and put it
Philly.
it.
Yeah, I sold it, and I still regret it because it was such a it was a fun
Well, when
car.
you think now, even a few years later, you're like, well, gosh,
I know, yeah. So
you can't do that.
I had the dream of
That's the
putting
business
V12.
guy. That's the business major coming in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wheeler dealer. Yeah. No. So yeah.
Well, that's a hell of a. So that was your first car.
Yeah. So it was a wild thing, and so it was really
Honda
hard.
Accord hatchback, '87.
But it's special, right? Because the first car is always special.
Well, that one for me wasn't. That one was like the first utilitarian. Like, you just need transportation to whatever.
Yeah. You
But-
don't have any desire to get that back.
Not that one, no.
No?
But everything else.
Everything else?
Yeah, E30, 325E. I'd love to have back. The 944 Turbo, I'd love to have back. The only other one I just don't care about was a 3000 GT.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a great. I liked it at the time. I loved it
Yeah.
actually at the time. But when I look back on it, it was like, what are you doing?
Was it the VR4 or was it?
It was an SL. So
SL.
it was the middle, and
All
it
right.
had the base engine and the luxury update, options.
Yeah, so like the
So
auto
it was like a
seatbelts and,
stupid
like-
car. It was it
That's
had the
silly.
small motor and then and then everything to make it heavier. It was so silly.
Yeah. Yeah, so we
Back
did
to you.
Yeah, no, we did a 3000 GT on the show. We did the VR4, and like I was like
I
actually
wanted
really
to.
impressed.
Yeah, I would have loved the VR4.
It was like
wanted the
I
VR4.
totally overlooked the VR4. And it, was,
What do you like about it?
it looked interesting.
They
It had
looked
an interesting
badass.
look. It had active steering. It had active aero. It had a lot of like forward thinking things
For 1995 or whatever, that was
yeah,
way ahead.
in like a really strange platform. You know what I mean? It was,
Okay.
and it, like I never
it was
drove
a
it.
Mitsubishi
Yeah.
chassis. It was sold by Dodge as well as Mitsubishi. So everything said Mitsubishi on it, from the radio to the motor.
Yeah.
But it was a Dodge Stealth here, that kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
I liked it. It's so stupid. I don't want to tell you. I liked it because NBC bought Letterman a Stealth to try to keep
really?
NBC, and we used to
Nice.
see it driving around. So I was like, I'll get one of those. Yeah. Stupid idiot. Just a kid.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah, I guess. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
So then, back in school, having no car was like a big shock. And I got into the TV major. Was like, man, I'd love to actually combine it, do cars and TV. I had no idea how I was going to do that.
But you thought of that then?
Yeah,
That's so cool.
Because I loved like YouTube videos. I loved watching all these things that were being made, and especially now, like you can take your phone and go shoot 3 GoPros and have like an amazing video.
Yeah, you could literally take your phone down to the garage and edit it on the way back upstairs.
Yeah, so I love what like people were making, and I got really into like those videos and all that. And the nice thing about Drexel is they do internships. So like you leave school, it's like required. You have to go.
Yeah, I did that too.
Leave. And so I the first one I got was on the Late Late Show as an audience intern.
So you came out to Los Angeles for what? 6 months?
3 months.
3 months.
3
Stay at
months.
the Oakwoods type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It was called the Orsini in
Oh,
downtown.
that's the one down by Television City. Yeah.
Yeah, in down. Yeah. So
I stayed in the Oakwood in the late 90s.
Yeah, it's like-
it's
It
all
was
the
a
same
thing.
thing.
it's a
right?
rite of passage in
Yeah.
LA, especially like, in entertainment. You're just running around this big apartment building that's like
Yeah.
strangely nice, but strangely not. It's
Right.
It's like
That's well put.
yeah.
It was probably built nice, but not the people who. I mean, it's all temporary housing. Period. With a bunch of kids who don't know to give a fuck yet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you came from Philadelphia. You came out here. You're in Los Angeles. You're working at the Late Late Show, which is
Yeah.
Ferguson at the time.
Yeah, Craig Ferguson. Yeah,
And that was the end of it, right?
yeah, I was right like the last 3 months of his time there. So it was like nobody knew what was going on, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a
bet.
crazy goodbye.
Yeah. But my role specifically was at the end of the show they put a number on the screen for tickets to come be in the live audience, and I had to screen those calls and give tickets, and I
Oh
never
my gosh.
never gave anybody tickets because nobody ever called about tickets. They just called
Seriously?
they called about the show. Because now everybody does it online. You just go online and
Oh, of course.
you book
Why
the
would you want to
tickets.
talk to somebody?
Yeah.
God,
So-
I still remember the old ticket line. Gosh,
So
funny.
yeah, so going through and just basically deleting messages of these interesting people and interesting voicemails for Craig and going
Because
through
it's a
that.
phone number to the show, so people just called it
Yeah.
for whatever, right?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So I was doing that.
Hi, Craig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Oh, man.
I was doing that 3 days a week, and then the other 2 days I picked up a random internship at BBC, which I knew made Top Gear.
Whoa.
I didn't know what I was going to be doing there.
Wow.
Apply. Yeah.
Also here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, right in Century City.
Wow.
Yeah, so I just applied. It was for the unscripted department, which is at the time I really didn't know what that was. I ended up having a Skype interview.
Unscripted just meaning reality.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And talked about the 400i with the Chevy engine to the people on the call, and they had turned out to be car people and were really involved with Top Gear USA.
Oh, no
So,
kidding.
yeah,
The
yeah.
Tanner and Rutledge
Yeah.
and I always draw a blank on the guy who's actually my favorite guy. who's-
Tanner
the New
Rutledge
York,
and Adam Ferrari.
Adam Ferrari.
Yeah.
Mr. New Yorker.
Yeah.
How fun. You got to talk to all your favorite people.
Exactly.
So what happened with that?
So I was like, okay, this is where I have to be. You know what I mean? I really tried to work hard and insert my car knowledge wherever I could.
Was the Top Gear USA still doing the Top Gear England format, or were they? You know what I mean? Did they have the down at the blimp hangar down at the Tustin Air Base, or were they just doing remotes?
So it was just pieces.
Okay.
Just story pieces and
Like the new Grand Tour coming up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't really get to work because I was in the corporate office. I didn't really get to work with the production team on
Okay.
that until my manager at the time, who was like the most awesome person ever, gave me a couple days in the production, and I just got to sit with the producers of Top Gear USA,
Wow.
and
They could tell that you wanted to go that.
yeah,
Okay.
I made it pretty clear. I was like, this is what I want to do. So then kept in contact, came back out for another round of internships.
The following year.
The following year, was back in the office and kept doing a couple days here and there with the Top Gear USA guys, and it was great. It was great, and then that ended.
This sounds very similar to how when you came out here. You came out here for a couple months, and you go back. And the next year, come out for a couple months.
You're out here for 5 minutes and you're like, okay, I'm doing this much of this much that I want to do. How can I get closer to whatever it is? And like, there was summers I had multiple tiers of internships that like overlapped. It sounds like what you're saying of like 3 days here and 2 days here. And It sounds hectic, but it was the coolest experience.
Oh yeah, just so much fun.
You
so much
learned a
fun.
lot?
Yeah.
Running around LA, like, on the weekends going up to the canyons. I had a Mustang at the time, and running into you guys even back then.
That's right. Yeah.
just like it's
Gotta find that picture.
I know, it's a small world. But yeah, so doing that, and then I went back to school to finish out my time. I really didn't want to go back to Philly. I was like, oh man, I want to be out here. Went back and
Well, you're from here too.
Yeah,
It's a weird thing.
You
Yeah.
made a weird jump, but it's awesome.
I had to leave to like come back. It's
To love
it's like yeah. So then I went back to school and found out Top Gear USA was like not coming back, and I was like, oh no, I was like, oh, this is
At
not
least
good.
at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So went back, ended up working with Doug DeMuro, who's a car YouTuber.
Yeah, I've seen his videos.
Yeah, he was just.
He's funny. He's very opinionated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His fiance at the time was going to Drexel. Is now his wife. Yeah. And
what part of the country is he? He's not in LA, is he?
he's in San Diego now.
Oh,
now.
okay.
Yeah,
That's not
yeah.
too far.
He was.
In my mind, he was like Middle America someplace.
Yeah, he was in Atlanta doing videos, and
That's what I think.
I just sent him an email. I'm like, hey, like, I was like super cool. I work with Top Gear producers, in LA.
yeah.
I want to like make videos. He's like, sure. And so I started helping him film some of the Philly videos, like
neat.
he did one
The
where-
videos that we've seen on the internet?
some of them, yeah. So
Oh,
like
cool.
we crushed a PT Cruiser with a Hummer, and that was like the first thing like we did together, and it was like
That must have been fun.
It was so
That's
much
like
fun.
a Top Gear type thing.
exactly. I was like, man, this is like I'm getting to tell stories and like and do this, and we had a ton of fun doing that. And yeah, so that's where I really started making that was the first thing I really made as a car producer.
Was the Doug DeMuro videos?
Yeah, and like.
Are you proud of it?
Oh, especially that
Oh, that's
Hummer versus
wonderful.
PT Cruiser. It's
Yeah.
it's his style, and his whole channel is amazing.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, he's quite successful now, isn't he?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
the channel's like doing
it's
really,
blown
really
up.
well.
Yeah, he's funny and can talk about cars and is
He's a likable guy.
yeah, and it's a production team of one now. You know what I mean? He does it all himself. and
Really?
it's like
Oh,
amazing.
so no overhead, just
Yeah.
an iPhone
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah. So
Wow.
it's really cool. And so
Did you teach him how to do all that?
he not really. He like taught himself. He
Okay.
just it's. And
I'm not
like,
trying to get you to take credit. I'm just trying to understand the process.
I've nitpicked it because like he'll leave the tripod in the shot and it annoys me because I'm like, just take the tripod out. He's like, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? He's so not from that production.
It seems like
background.
your eye and my eye would probably match up because all of that stuff does matter.
Yeah,
even
yeah.
though he's right, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and it's cool to see how that's kind of.
I would like
flourished.
to, as a viewer, let him know, and you can feel free to pass this along, that it's fine. It doesn't bother some people, but it bothers some people enough that it bothers anyone they're watching it with.
Oh,
So it bothers everyone, and you should take the tripod out of the shot. Please.
that's funny. That's funny.
He has gotten better. He's growing. But yeah, so
okay, good.
so then came back out here, heard kind of rumors that Top Gear America, this new one, was coming out. I was just stayed in contact with my people at BBC. I'm like, please put me on the show. I don't care what capacity I'm involved in the show. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll give you a shot. So I was a PA for a day for their chemistry test where they had all the like 20 hosts show up and try to like compete for this thing. So I was like, oh man, this is
So they're trying to get new hosts for a new.
Like
so
the
there's a
audition
whole-
for
gotcha.
new hosts and
Gotcha. I
stuff?
didn't realize.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't realize.
So that was like really exciting. I was like, okay, it's about to start. We're picking the hosts. Did that day, and then like 3 months went by and nothing happened. I was like, oh man, I was like kind of crapping my pants. Like, what am I gonna do? I picked up day player stuff as a PA on
because in your mind you're
random
thinking, I'm going to
shows.
get this job on this thing, right?
Yeah. Ended up buying my Cayman, which was like the worst decision I've ever made at that.
Great
during that
car,
time.
just bad timing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then luckily the Top Gear America started, and it was with all new producers who I didn't know, and it was like this amazing experience being a production
But
assistant.
they called you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a PA for the entire run of the series.
Wow.
And
we haven't seen this yet, right? The one that you're talking about that you worked on.
no, it's
The
out.
first
it's out.
Oh, it is,
couple
okay.
are out?
No,
right?
it
all
did
of
its
that?
it did its run. I don't think it was as successful as they wanted it to be.
And that's why we don't know about it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, who were the new hosts then?
It was William Filchner, who was from Armageddon.
Oh, that
yeah,
one.
Antron
Fichtner.
Brown.
William Fichtner.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's the one you worked on. That's
yeah.
when they did bring it back to the
Yeah.
studio and the whole bit.
Yeah, they did that.
They were basically doing the new Top Gear, like the Matt LeBlanc one over there. It was almost like a version of that meets Top Gear
Yeah.
USA. It was kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
It was a little overproduced for my taste.
Yeah, the studio stuff I wasn't in love with, but like the stuff we did in the field,
Great.
was
the
like
photography was amazing. The creativity was great.
was really fun. Yeah, I was a production assistant with Dan DeCastro, who's like a Top Gear DP. Does all the Top Gears around the world.
So that's why it looks so
and
good.
Yeah, so it's like it's incredible to be like a young production person around these amazing cars.
It's a great playground. Like,
Yeah.
whether the show's amazing or not
Yeah.
doesn't matter, because
Yeah.
what a cool playground
Yeah.
for you guys to just get to see everything and
Exactly.
do everything and
Yeah.
learn everything.
just like in the middle of the desert, like hiking up a massive hill with a C stand, and like it was a real introduction into
And
like,
somebody else is paying for it.
Yeah, exactly. On the road, staying in these weird hotels in the middle of nowhere. It was like a really.
But you're getting
really
paid
fun
to
time.
adventure, and that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Best part.
Yeah.
We do it for free, and that's you don't get as much back.
Yeah.
It's
No,
enjoyable, but it's different.
So it was just like so much fun, and that was great. It ended. The coordinator on that was becoming the PM on Wheeler Dealers, and it was like you should try to be on Wheeler Dealers. So I applied as a PA, and they're like, "That's great, but you seem to know a lot about cars. You want to be a researcher?" So I was like, "Yeah, like
Anything to not be a PA.
exactly,
Right? Yeah.
exactly." So I was like, "Sign me up," and I was.
Plus, I'm growing now. Now I've got a ladder here.
Yeah. So, and then I showed up to work, and it was one of the producers was one of the people I worked with as an intern on Top Gear USA. So it was like
Nice.
small world, and David like remembered me, and it was like okay, about cars, like let's get started and kind of go into the series.
Yeah.
And I was like totally fish out of water trying to research all this.
But all of a sudden,
car
you're integral
facts
to the process.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's huge.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
went from being a guy who was kind of just helping out to now,
Yeah.
like, you're part of the
Yeah.
making the show.
Yeah. Yeah, so had a lot of fun with those first cars like that. I started basically my first day was Ant's first day.
Oh, wow.
So I started right, at season 14 when we just like it was all new.
Yeah,
kind
big,
of,
big
fun.
shoes considering what
Yeah.
the perception was from the public
Yeah,
and everything. Yeah.
yeah. So it was like a totally different kind of show.
I'm so grateful to Mike for being so open and forthcoming with the information about that whole tumultuous
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people, including obviously us, but just the public and fans of the show, really didn't know a lot of that stuff.
No, it's
And it's very easy to want to side with what seems like the underdog, but then when you hear the backstory, it's kind of like, well, there's two sides to every deal here.
That's
And it's
amazing.
kinda like,
And Mike did an amazing job carrying that show into the new kind of era that it's become, because I mean when we started it was Mike, the two directors of photography, and the sound guy are the only people. I mean, they've been on the show forever. Like they've been through everything
are
together.
those Mike's guys?
Yeah, well, the show's guys. I
Okay.
mean, they've been on there since season like 2. You know what I mean? So they've been there since
It's still on the same flow.
the start.
They
But
know.
they were the only people really.
Yeah.
Besides like the upper Discovery people, they were the only people that had.
Did they come here from England?
Yeah, so they still
Wow.
come out.
They come out for production.
Yeah,
That's pretty
it's-
cool to keep that tight family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the actual production does
Yeah, and I
has
re-
the semblance of staying the same.
Yeah, and I really feel like that's what's kind of kept the show together, is because
Grounded.
because I mean they knew exactly what to do and how to do it, and kind of taught us all really well. And Mike is like an amazing teacher, for the producing team to kind of get into the show.
He seemed very generous with his time and information
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah,
And
he
it sounds
seems-
like he's really involved, and that's what I love personally. It's like it's not just like he's not told what to do; he's like really doing stuff.
Mhm.
I love that about him.
yeah. So it was amazing, and eventually I kind of worked up, and they made me an AP, which is an
Nice.
associate producer, which I was like,
Absolutely.
holy
And you get a
crap,
producer credit. You
yeah,
can join the PGA if you want.
yeah, like here it is, like let's make something with this. So I kind of worked hard, worked really hard, and Mike took me under his wing because I'm a car guy, and he's a car guy, and so
He is.
it's like
At his DNA level, we talked about
yeah,
it.
yeah. So to have like us two on the road, like we go out and look for these cars together, and
Really?
yeah,
So
Yeah.
you go out spotting too and
Yeah.
finding these. How does that work? Do you see an ad in a paper? And
Yeah,
you're
so-
not driving around like the guys in Vegas, right?
No. So Mike and I are
Offering
just
people cash out of their front door.
Yeah, we're just constantly bouncing ads off each other. What do you think of this? And I send him a bunch of stuff. He sends me a bunch of stuff, and then we go out on the road and go visit these people. And it's like
Do they know who's going to show up when someone calls about it? Hey, there's this Fiat 2000 I want to take a look at.
Yeah.
Did they? Obviously, if Mike Brewer's calling, it probably sounds like that. But if you're calling and then Mike Brewer shows up,
it's
do people think like, "Where's the camera? What's going on here?"
It's really funny to see reactions and
because he is very recognizable and people know him.
It's
these
amazing.
days.
Yeah, it's amazing traveling with him. In airports, even like he's an icon in the car scene. It really spreads. So like just out on the road looking for these cars, and it's fun, and it's also a little frustrating because sometimes I'll call first and try to get some money off, and then Mike shows up, and all of a sudden the price is
full.
It's totally different.
Low, and I'm like, how do you do that? It's great.
So he actually gets it lower then?
Oh yeah.
I thought that because he's so good at what he does. You're saying?
Yeah, he's telepathic.
I thought Mike Brewer shows up and then all of a sudden it's $1,000 more.
No,
you want to bend over backward for that man and give him everything for free, just knowing him for 5 minutes.
No,
he knows how to work people. That's for sure.
Yeah, he'll walk
He really
around a car
does.
twice, and every lap he takes around the car, the price is
Drops.
lower. And he's also amazing at spotting things, on the cars, and working on that, and we end up
I would
bringing the
imagine you
cars
guys
back.
both are probably like, if we could see in your brain, it's like Terminator with all the little things and everything.
Totally.
Yeah, so it's fun, and so this season, the producers from before Ant came back, and they're Henrik and Jake, who are their co-EPs, and they were the producers on Top Gear America. So it's all
coming around.
So everybody's worked with you.
Yeah,
You're the tie that binds now.
It's like such a small industry. It's amazing.
That must feel great though.
Yeah. So it's
you're in the nucleus.
Yeah, because I've been in this for such a short amount of time, but I've worked with these people. What seems like forever, just because they're the only people I've worked with. And it's
Well, it seems like you're
amazing.
you found an area of which you want to make a niche, and it seems like you're being successful at.
Yeah. I'd love to only do car shows. It's
Then you will.
Is that the what do you want to do?
I want to show run my own shows.
There you go.
I want to grow with Wheeler Dealers and stay on it as long as possible, just because it's such an amazing place to be, and it's really rare to have that kind of freedom.
You're still learning too. I mean, if you get to a point where you're like, I'm not learning anything anymore, then maybe it's time. But right now, keep it up.
Yeah, exactly. So just sticking with the Wheeler Dealer kind of team, and it really is a family. Like I live with one of the camera operators. We share an apartment in Hermosa Beach.
Kidding.
Yeah, so it's like we really it's a tight knit group. Simon, who's our sound guy, his car is at my parents' house while he's back in the UK. It's
Wow.
it's a
Close knit.
great. Yeah, it's a great.
And you've all got
great
job
group.
security. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's the family. You can't fire family.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's fun, and with the show doing so well as it is now with Motor Trend and all that, they're giving us some freedom to do other shows and
I've got that on the card here. You got new shows coming out. Mike talked a little bit about it, but you're going to be working on at least one of them, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if we can say what Ant's show is yet.
Gotcha.
But it's going to be a...
Don't just to be... I think Mike did, but don't just to be safe.
Yeah.
But I know there's
Yeah.
a new show coming out that Ant will be hosting.
Yeah.
We can say that much,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and there's just so many opportunities for more automotive content, which is what I want to make, because I don't like a lot of the typical car shows where it's just a bunch of wrenches being thrown and all that.
Let's get the bike done.
Yeah.
That's what I always say.
Exactly.
And I love those guys too, but
Yeah.
It's different.
even they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, it's great to tell the story about the car, and to be in a production team that recognizes that and is just amazing at it. It's like
Yeah, well, and
trying
if
to
there's a
keep going
family
with
story, it still revolves around the car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Father, son, mother, whatever the heck it happens to
Yeah.
be.
it. Exactly.
Do you have a favorite car that you guys have done since you've been on the show?
The Lancia Fulvia. Lancia.
Lancia.
Yeah. It's a small little Italian car, and I love Italian cars, and it's just like this tiny little front wheel. I normally hate front wheel drive cars, but it's like the coolest little thing. Like it's first of all beautiful. Like they're just timeless design.
All of those cars are pretty nice to look
Yeah.
at.
Are they the little square ones?
I don't know which one this particular is, but there's all sorts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a little coupe with 4 headlights in the front, and the interior looks like a record player. You know what I mean? It just looks so analog, and it's so...
But it's the one that kind of you could mistake it for an Alpha, probably, right?
Yeah.
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 It's
Okay.
like the red one we saw yesterday, but probably silver or something is the color
Okay.
I used to remember seeing most of them in.
Yeah. So that was a really cool car, and there's so much like weird engineering around it. It was a V4, which is really unique. It was like a
Another
15
weird
degree V4, so it was like really a tiny engine.
Four cylinders normally, but they would be straight and inverse mounted and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that was a cool car to kind of research, and dive into. There's so many cars. So
Was that your idea, that one?
Mike and I found it. I can't remember where.
So
we found
you're
It's-
cruising the classifieds and like, oh,
Yeah.
that car. It's
Yeah.
not like, let's find
Yeah.
a Lancia, whatever.
Yeah, I mean we
What's
do have-
available?
We
What's
do
here?
we do
Right, that
have
makes more sense.
running lists. Like
When one of these comes up, we
Yeah.
should do it.
like a typical like writer's room for a sitcom. We have whiteboards everywhere in our office, and it's just full
Wish
of
lists
car
and
names.
different-
Yeah, and so just scanning everywhere.
Probably sounds like our board in there for guests.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So just scanning everything. Then we did this season we did a 1985 Mercedes 300 TD wagon, which
Oh,
is
that's
like
cool. Well, those are
really-
back now. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a popular car to have getting
so
groceries.
so we did one on the show, and like mid shooting, I saw another one on Craigslist, and I ended up like picking it up just because as like a daily driver.
For you.
Yeah, just
Well,
as,
so you got it.
yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that car.
Yeah, they're sweet. I got it for like $3.5 grand, and it has
gosh.
300,000 miles, and it starts every time, and it's just this massive steering wheel, and it has 7 seats because it's got like the back bench seat. It's just a funny old car, and so
awesome.
yeah, it's like working on the show is terrible for my car addiction because it just makes me want everything.
Yeah.
But also it helps because like we get to spend time with everything. Get to open and close.
That's what I would
doors and-
think. I would think somebody like Mike Brewer, like with all of that work, they get to see what they really would want
Yeah.
to actually have
Yeah.
and what they wouldn't want to spend
Exactly.
their money on. It's
Yeah.
kind of nice.
Yeah, there's definitely been cars.
Also, you get to drive
Yeah.
pretty much everything.
Yeah, it'll narrow it down pretty quick what you want to spend your own money on.
It's much easier to have one 911 when we have somebody like Paul Kramer from Auto Kennel who brings
Oh.
up every different type of 911
Yeah.
for us to drive. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul Kramer. All right. So, what about when you used to be a fan of the Wheeler Dealer Show before you ever watched it? Was there a favorite episode or a favorite car?
Oh man.
Obviously,
they
it
did
would have been the old hosts.
a
but
Dino. So I love
that episode.
Yeah, that's a great
it
one.
was the square, the later Dino,
Yep,
right?
yep. And then the 914.
That's
I
a
love
good one,
I
too.
love 914s. That's like what I really want next, and they're
That's
just.
pretty hot right now, too.
I know. I'm like, do I wait? Do I jump in now? It's
I don't
tough.
think you jump in now.
Yeah,
I don't
don't
think
think
you do.
so.
I think you waited out at this
I
point.
think so. In the past year, I've probably like
There were so many good ones, even 6 months ago.
yeah. In the past year, I've probably looked at 6 of them. I've like driven and like been like, okay, this is.
Do you know
is
what
the one.
you want, or was it just the right car?
I want a white one. I know it's I'm kind of stuck
Blank
on that.
canvas.
Yeah.
Plus
yeah.
German white, I get it.
Yeah, and just looking for the right car that doesn't have too much rust.
But you don't care if it's a 1.8, you don't care.
I'd love to be able to swap it out for the 6.
6.
I don't know if you guys know Wayne at Pelican Parts.
Yeah.
But he
Well,
has
same family. Hello.
yeah, he has this like Rasta Rally 914.6 that like I went for a ride in and I was like, holy shit, this is the car that like I need to have
Yeah.
immediately. It's just like it's
I never really thought much of to him. And then the Zwart's yellow one. It's like you see
yeah.
that in one time in person,
Yeah.
you're just like, no,
Okay.
these are awesome. That's all
Yeah.
there is to it.
Yeah, they
just
have-
do that to it.
yeah, no, they have cool lines and like the way they go up the road is just like they're so light. I love like a light car.
They've always been fun to
It's-
drive. I just remember
yeah.
the old days when people would cut them apart and put big motors in them,
Yeah.
and they would then race them.
Yeah, yeah,
Autocross and stuff.
yeah.
Do they still do that, or are they worth too much money now?
You see
Gotta
some
get
of those
to
like,
Miatas and stuff.
yeah, you see some of those crazy autocross builds where they've drilled like holes in every single panel to like
Lighten it up.
and they're like worth nothing now. It's like back in the day that would have been like the hot
Yeah.
914.
Yeah, they make a shopping cart out of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly,
Mad Max.
exactly.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that's a good one. 914. Well, so what is on your what's on your list of things
I don't know.
that
So
you what I mean? Not that you can just go do it tomorrow, but like
yeah, so
someday when the piggy bank's full.
so I want a 400i again.
Ferrari
You do.
engine.
You want it
Yeah.
back?
I
The same
I would
kind?
I would take that one back just because of the nostalgia of it and the
Plus,
guy.
it's so good looking. Am I
Yeah.
the only one who thinks that? I think that car is just
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, people really didn't like it when at the time it wasn't the hot Ferrari at all. And
It
there's
doesn't look like a Ferrari
No,
in any way,
no.
shape, or form.
no, but the guy I sold it to has like gone through the entire car. Like he's done a
Oh, you
full-
still know where yours is?
Yeah, because it's on Ferrari Chat. I check on it like all the time on the forums.
Did they ever
know?
put a motor in it, or is it still
No,
got the Chevy motor?
I can't believe it. So he spent God knows how much money like repainting it new interior, new carpets, like
He's
even
ready for the motor someday.
Yeah, but even like massaging the engine in there, and it's an LT1, which is like not the
Old
good,
even, yeah.
not even like the good Corvette. It's not even like an LS1. Like, and he's left it in there. I'm like,
Shitty
why?
fuel economy and everything.
Yeah, like why? You know,
Just makes a lot of noise, probably.
yeah. But so I take that one back for nostalgia. Wow. But right now I have my little brown Cayman. That's like it's my jam. I got it.
I love that color too, by the way.
Yeah, no, I didn't know I wanted a brown one.
Is it just called brown? It's not called
It's
brown.
macadamia metallic. So
Yeah, of course it is. Macadamia.
So I just saw it. It was at CarMax.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
You
Yeah.
bought that at CarMax?
Yeah.
It's a manual too,
You
isn't
never
it?
know.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Exactly. So it was one of those things where Doug, who does the YouTube videos, he did a whole series. I think there were some videos where he bought an old Range Rover at CarMax, and you do
I think I remember that.
you do the
Because
warranty.
of the warranty. I do
Max
remember
Care.
that.
Yeah.
And then it was like a 6-episode series of
Yeah.
every time he would go in and they've paid $45,000
Yeah.
for my $3,000 warranty.
Exactly. So I've driven the crap out of the car, and I've had over $20,000 of Porsche maintenance done on CarMax. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So you bought it at the right mileage and at the right price where you could throw actually, it doesn't even matter what the heck it costs to throw that package on
Exactly.
there.
I bought it with 50,000 miles, and I bought
great.
a 75,000 mile warranty on top of the 50,000 miles. So I'm over 100 now, and it has a new transmission and
Whoa.
all kinds of stuff has been fixed on it. Yeah.
Wow. Good for
Yeah.
you. Well, I mean, that's
Nice.
part of working the system
Yeah.
that you work in.
Yeah. Exactly. So
Part of the process, man.
it
Good job.
lets me drive it, but I'm nervous now that the warranty's ending, and I'm like, do I keep it? But also, a lot of the repairs have been like kind of
Oh,
unnecessary.
75 additional. So you up to 125. I thought, he blew it out for whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
smokes.
Yeah. So
Well, you
it's
don't need to do anything except service everything while you still have it, and
Exactly.
then you're good.
Exactly. Also, the dealer does a lot of like kind of cheeky repairs on top of stuff. Like I had a new radio put in because my radio stopped working, and then I got it back in the cruise control light. Wouldn't come on. The cruise control was still working fine, but the light wasn't
the
coming
light.
on. Yeah.
Well, back to the dealer.
And so I took it back, and they put in a whole new instrument cluster. It was like,
The whole new binnacle?
yeah, it was like
Oh my gosh.
$3,600, and
Yeah.
then the light.
They got to reprogram it too, because the mileage and everything.
Yeah, and the light still didn't work. So it was just
Oh,
reprogramming.
you want a new
after
light
all.
bulb as well? That's going to
Yeah.
be extra.
Yeah. So it totally didn't need a new cluster. They're like, okay, throw in a cluster. It was,
Okey-doke.
it was
Somebody else is paying for it.
yeah.
I
so-
got my appendix out at the Santa Monica Hospital, whatever, St. Joe's, I think. And I was only in one night. I drove myself to the hospital, got in there about 10 o'clock at night. It was after a day of work. And I was only in for the night, and around noon the next day, my friend came and visited, and I left shortly thereafter. Less than 24 hours in the hospital, $35,000.
Yeah.
And I was in a 4-room suite that they gave to Michael Jackson and Liz
They
Taylor.
thought you were famous.
Because I had motion picture insurance.
Uh-huh.
So they were just like, okie doke. They just ran it
go
like a
through
credit
it.
card.
Wow.
And just went to town.
Yeah.
Every test, every possible thing you could possibly imagine. It sounds exactly like what the
Yeah.
dealer would do with your. It's like, what's that? Oh, this is on Carmack? Okie doke.
Yeah.
Max Care. It's
Yeah.
It's cool.
Everything.
And there's like cool cars that come through there. There was an R8 not too long ago.
To CarMax?
I'm like, yeah, man, buy an R8 and just
do
get
you
that.
do you look online or do you go to the places?
I look online.
Yeah.
They'll transfer a car for free too. You know,
We
it's
know.
like it's
We've tried to do that once
yeah.
and it ended up being sold.
Oh.
We've sold a few cars to CarMax. I've never bought one there.
yeah. So yeah, it's I wouldn't recommend it. You know, especially like on.
But if you're going to buy a Porsche or something and you can do that warranty,
yeah,
I would recommend
if it's
it.
like the
It's a
right
good place
age.
to look.
Yeah.
Like everyone always looks at like some of the same places. Like
Yeah.
it sounds like a neat alternative to have a gander at.
Yeah, exactly. Their prices are a little high, but occasionally there's like this weird car in the system that like kind of sneaks through, and
That's the other
It's-
thing. You're less likely to get a deal on a Ford Taurus, but if you go in there looking at the Cayman that
Yeah.
nobody else is there, they're looking to move it.
Yeah.
We went looking at
Exactly.
an M4 when we were trying to unload one at the same thing.
Oh,
They
yeah.
would have sold us their M4 for nothing.
yeah,
Nothing.
Yeah. Take this when you go. Thanks so much.
I see the Nick Hunziker shirt there, Ferrari over Porsche.
Yeah.
Are you a Porsche guy? I know the 914 you said.
yeah. So I
There's no
absolutely
wrong
love
answer
them.
here,
No,
obviously.
I absolutely love them. It's really a toss up between Porsche and Ferrari for my two kind of favorite marks of cars.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, when I was in karting, this guy started. He was a Porsche, a PCA San Francisco guy, and I was doing some autocross at the time too, and a GTI, And
Oh, nice.
He invited me. He's like, come to the PCA event. I'll throw you some cash and give me some driving tips. And I came. I'd never driven a Porsche before. It was a 986 Boxster.
Okay.
And it like blew me away.
And that's
I was
first gen, right?
Yeah. So I was like 17, and I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. And I got a ride along in a 964 that was had the full kit on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that really
full race kit. You mean like suspension kit and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the first run he forgot to deflate his tires, so they were at like some crazy high.
You guys are sliding all
so
over the
like
place.
into the first corner, just immediately the back end came right around, and I was like, oh, okay, this is crazy.
That's funny.
And so that got me into.
He put some
Porsche.
pedal down, and it just
it just
spun.
went away, and then went out for a second run with the tire pressure set correctly, and it was like, man, this thing actually sticks, and it was an amazing thing to be in.
Wow.
So that's kind of how I got into the Porsche stuff, and it's also just that down here. There's so many amazing ones. Even like on the drive-in, you see, I saw two early cars
Just on the way here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's just like it's amazing.
In regular day traffic.
Yeah, yeah. It's like 10 o'clock, and you're just cruising. It's fun to see.
So it's easy to be. We're all surrounded by them, so it's easy to be into it.
Exactly.
Do you think that one day, once you go Ferrari again, probably the Porsche thing will be eclipsed? That's what I've always. You know what I mean? It was like I used to be hardcore BMW, and then you go Porsche, and it's like, what? BM what?
Yeah.
And then all the guys who went from Porsche to Ferrari, they seem to be the same thing. They're kind of like 911 what?
Yeah, I don't know if it's
got all new friends now, new clothes.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the ownership experience of the Porsche so much. It's like the Ferrari stuff. I don't know if I eventually would love to have one. It's like you see the repair costs on those, and you're like, oh my god, this is crazy. I'd love like a 360. I'd love one of those.
A little more modern.
Yeah, I'd love one of those, or even a 308. But I think I'll always try to keep a Porsche around just because they're so much fun, and
because they're awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
There's-
Awesome people.
You can't
and,
argue.
Yeah.
Like it's an avenue to so much cool stuff.
If money was not an option, what would your Porsche be today that you would buy? It doesn't have to be new. I mean, just anything today. Say you got much money you need to buy it.
Yeah, I love Nick Hunziker's long hood.
Really?
Like 71.
68 is his, right?
60, yeah, or like the early 70s, late 60s.
The longer wheelbase.
Long hood cars are just like so sweet.
Yeah.
And just they're beautiful and all that. I'd also love a 912. New GT3, all that stuff.
Isn't that funny how we go around? We want the slow old car or the fast new car.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, what the fuck?
I know. But like,
I'm so with you though. I get it.
I'd love to have as many cars. I want Jay Leno's, collection. It's
Have you been over there?
No, I've never been.
Right up the street.
Right there.
Right up the street.
Yeah, but like, there's really nothing I wouldn't own, except for like a PT Cruiser.
Even that you could do something with.
You crush it. Run it over. Yeah.
Is it Bam Margera who used to mess up his mom's PT Cruiser? That's probably
really?
before you. Yeah, Viva La Bam.
I do remember
Jackass
that.
and all that.
Yeah.
I know he
Put the
did
flames on it and the big shifter and all
Yeah,
that.
he did the sunroof in his Gallardo, which was painful.
Do you remember that? With a
Yeah.
Sawzall?
Yeah. That
Oh
was
my
painful.
God.
No.
And Johnny Knoxville made his Hummer a convertible the same way with a
Yeah.
Sawzall one night.
Yeah.
Good grief.
So that stuff.
I'm glad you guys don't do that stuff. You
Yeah.
know, you're less destructive. You fix them.
Yeah, it's amazing. And down at the shop, Ant and Mike and the whole team has like a really clear vision of like what we want to do with the cars.
So you know what the car is going to be before.
Yeah. I mean, most of the time. Sometimes in the moment we're like, okay, this color would look great. We'll make some
Change,
kind
audible.
of game time decisions. But yeah, for the most part, we're all in agreement of like what we're gonna do with the car. It's really fun to see them kind of turn out and then go on to real homes. Because like what's amazing is like we actually sell these cars on to new owners, and it's like
And it's not like Pimp My Ride where you find out a week later that all the fuzz fell off or whatever the fuck.
And
you
it's-
guys are actually making these cars well, and then people probably keep them. I would imagine.
Exactly. And it's amazing. It's like the show like kind of comes up with itself in the fact that we'll get calls from people that are literally perfect to buy the cars and kind of have the car live on with them, and it's like I think we all feel a little protective of the cars we've done.
Yeah, you put your work and your sweat into it. Sure.
Yeah, so we want them to all live on. Yeah, live on with good owners, and it's really fun to see the cars go on to
What's the
a new
ratio?
owner.
Is it mostly work out that way?
Yeah.
That's
It's
nice.
it's like actually incredible how like synchronized it is with
So you guys are in a weird way, I hate to use this term, but like in a weird way, sort of like car matchmakers at the same time. Like you're finding the right home for these cars at the end too.
Yeah.
Not that that's intended, it just sort of works out.
And you always kind of have an idea of the type of person that's going to buy the car, and sometimes it's spot on, and sometimes it's like completely.
Oh, interesting.
You know,
I know what you mean. Like I think a dentist is going to buy this car, and then it's some 16-year-old girl.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I used to love that too with the old show.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly what you mean. Or there was one where a guy bought back his own car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does that happen more than once?
That happened on the Escort Cosworth, the double wing, because it was just like it was such an amazing project at the end with our.
Oh wait, your first episode?
Yeah.
With the triple wing.
Yeah, the triple wing. Yeah.
Right. Mike told us all about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it has happened at least because it happened on the old show I think once too.
Yeah.
So what's that like? So then you're dealing with the same guy. Do you know ahead of time that it's going to be the same guy, or it just works out?
Not all the time. No. I mean, it really is like we are actually doing this car dealing business. You know.
I want other people to know that though, because sometimes it seems kind of set up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's more like
that's the thing is it's amazing how like not set up these car buys are. You know, it's like these people just call us off Craigslist, you know, or
so they're just real things. It's not like reality TV that
no,
because some are really produced and some aren't. So
Yeah.
it's nice to hear that that one's really real.
Yeah. That's actually it really surprised me because you always hear all these shows are they're really
that's unscripted
contrived.
is not unscripted. I mean, you know how it is.
Yeah.
You're working with some rare producers and some rare shows that it's not, but all of that stuff is generally written.
Yeah, that's why I'm terrified to go anywhere else because I'm like, are we going to lose that magic of doing it? You know.
Do they write your show in post? Really? I mean, do they direct it in post basically? Because you have all of the nuts and bits, but as far as story-wise, you're really just capturing it like a documentary crew, right?
Especially like the work being done. Our director Henrik is like the most amazing director I mean you could work with because he comes from massive feature special effects, so he knows how to work on like massive projects, and he grew up in a back of a Mercedes workshop with his dad, so he knows how to like work on cars too. And so
weird.
We go through the jobs with Ant and film everything, and he's he directs it, with like how he captures the camera movements and all that, and it's a massive
all the blocking
dance.
And everything is him.
Yeah, and then it gets to post, and since it's pretty step by step, the editors
they just assemble it.
Yeah, but the thing is that it's a 44-minute episode, which is really restricting because
you shoot 5.5 days.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah, so
that's a lot of
They
material.
have to
How
cut
many
it down,
cameras?
right, in the editing.
a single camera.
Oh.
You shoot single.
Yeah,
that's really nice.
Yeah,
rarely, and that's very different compared to the let's get the bike done because
you know how it is.
That's multi.
With single camera, you shoot what you need is the idea.
Okay.
Theoretically saving time, money, and effort. With multicam, you just capture all of it
right.
as it's going live. Just do it.
Whatever
this
there
is
is,
multicam. We're just doing this. But if we were doing this individually, it was like, all right, set the camera up over there. Get what Nicole says. All right, set the camera up over there. Get what.
Got it.
Yeah, so it's really methodical, like in the workshop, and it's an amazing dance.
It's very unusual though for a car show to work that way.
Oh, super unusual. Yeah, the only time we might do double camera is like on a buy or on the handover.
Solely for coverage though, because you can only do it once.
Yeah, but really it's a single camera show, which is it's amazing to watch it come together. Yeah,
I mean it really does. Yeah. It simplifies the process right out through editorial.
Yeah. So it is tough to watch it get cut down because we might do this amazing intricate job that there's just not time to put in the show.
Or it's a montage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And then we do these best of episodes, which gives some of the content a chance to come back in. And with, Motor Trend going online, I'm really hoping that some of those restrictions for time code.
Mike was talking about that with the new being on the app, right? Yeah. That's a great thing because then you can just do. Oh, well, the full episode's actually 112 minutes, and if you want to see that, go online.
Exactly. So hopefully,
because there's tons of people who do it.
Yeah. It's like it's interesting stuff. And,
like why would you watch the 42-minute when there's a 57-minute cut? With more car stuff.
Yeah.
It's like we just did the 996, and we could have done a whole episode just on the IMS bearing.
Oh, the Welcome Back episode. Yeah, that's premiere.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much there. It doesn't need to be so short.
Yeah. You seem to like the mid-engine Porsches.
I do. I think
nothing wrong with that.
I think it's like a go-karting thing where it's just like I like having the engine as close to me as
possible. That's why I like the.
That's
funny that I like it also for go-karting, but for me it's the rear, having that weight in the back.
Yeah.
When you let off, you get a little turn out of it.
Exactly.
So novice though, is it your go-karts are different? We're different, probably then. Like,
I don't know.
Okay. It just seems like you would like the same thing if it's both from go-karts.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, go-karts are kind of side engine, you know, like
Yeah,
the ones I
behind
was
you to
racing
the right,
was
because
like,
it's balancing the driver's weight.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so and so I guess most of the weight is in the middle because it's you in a go-kart, so it's like a mid-engine
Okay.
car where it's all the mass is in the center, so it kind
Things
of
I don't know.
turns
Well,
around
no,
you.
it's a good point. You're both bringing up because it depends on the weight in the seat and then how big of a motor you got out back.
Okay.
I was always a skinny guy with a big motor out there, so
Yeah.
you know what I mean. It was like the more weight was back there.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Boy, that's so interesting.
Yeah. So that probably influences my car.
That makes a
car
lot of sense.
Needs. Yeah.
Also, what you like. That's
Yeah.
really all it comes
Yeah.
down to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. No, that's true. It's true.
you shouldn't like a 911 just because people tell you to.
E-
You
ex-
know what I mean?
exactly.
That's not the right reason.
Exactly. I do love the earlier cars. I would love a
Those cars
997
will come
too.
around on you, buddy. That's all rear.
Yeah. So
One of those long hoods. Holy
yeah.
smokes!
Exactly. I got to drive Nick's GT3, his 996 GT3.
Oh, from the video there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that white one. Oh my
Yeah.
God!
Just have you driven it with the new gearbox?
No.
He said it's great with the new gearbox.
Yeah, and I mean that's a terrifying car. You know what I mean? It's like
You wind it up; it doesn't stop.
yeah, and getting out of the Cayman and right into that, it's like it feels similar because all Porsches really carry that.
Well,
that
when you're
feel.
sitting in the chair, the front,
Yeah.
everything's the same.
Yeah, and then you're like
Literally, actually, 996 and a 986, right?
987. So there's a little differences, but like it feels the same. And
Yeah.
then it feels like you're like Superman in the GT3. You know what I mean?
So is yours a 987?
987. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's more like our car then.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Similar, same doors and hood and
Right.
and all that stuff.
That's
yeah.
so funny. Gosh. All right. Your future.
Mm-hmm.
Other car shows, all sorts of things like that. I'm not worried about it. But if there's anything that we can do in any way to help
Oh.
you're awesome.
No, thanks
you're
so much.
awesome already. We're
Yeah.
not saying goodbye just yet, but I
Yeah.
mean, like, great energy and
Oh,
holy
thanks.
cow! I love everything you're working on,
Thanks.
and I love your whole thing, man.
Oh, thanks. This is honestly my first time in front of the camera, and it's like I couldn't think of a better environment to do it, in and people with. It's like it's been a lot of fun so far.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very kind of you.
Yeah. No, it's fun.
The fact that you wanted to do it, even though you were nervous, said a lot to me.
Yeah. No.
It's usually one or the other. People really want to do it,
Uh-huh.
or they're too nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, I really want to do it, but I'm really nervous.
Yeah.
No, I love the show, so I couldn't turn it down. I couldn't be like, no, I'm not going to do this, but like, it is nerve wracking. But no, it's a lot of fun.
What about your social media? PCH driver, right?
Yeah, yeah. So that
Is that just for fun?
yeah, it's just a place for really. I just started to save the photos and like have a place to put them. It was like
It was a catalog.
yeah, because I was
Same for us.
I was just commuting back on PCH. I was like, I see all these cool cars. I want a place to put them. And it's kind of turned into something where like I try to get a nice shot, and I try a little try a little bit to like make it artistic, and
Yeah.
it's a fun kind of fun.
Outlet?
Yeah, and definitely a way I procrastinate. It's stay off my actual work just to kind of like check on there, and it's really cool to see what that platform can do in terms of like the people you meet and the connections you make. Like there was a video shoot that my friend was doing. And he needed a Lamborghini. Like he needed a Lamborghini for this. I think it was like a Vice music video or something, and they absolutely like needed one. I had no idea how to get one, and so I just
Like to
randomly-
rent one for the day. Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, and they didn't have the budget to rent one,
Right.
and so I just put it up on my story on PCH Driver, and the next day, one of the people that I just knew from Instagram showed up at this TV set and like did it, and it was like holy crap!
With his
this is-
Lamborghini?
Yeah, this is powerful. It's like you can really
You did that.
yeah, and like you can bring like people together and like make something really cool that it's
We're
pretty
trying
inspiring.
also to capitalize on the communal factor
Yeah.
versus just the buy as many friends as you can.
Yeah. No, it's
I don't get the logic there.
Yeah,
None
no.
of the numbers are real, so
No.
it's just a hoopla.
yeah, exactly.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, so
you're not
it's
putting too
fun.
much effort into it. It's just kind of for fun.
Yeah, like sometimes I try to post like once a week, but a lot of times I won't post for like a month just because like I
Busy at
forget
work.
to.
I
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
When you probably can't post the stuff you're working
Yeah,
on at work on
right.
there, so it's
and that's frustrating because like I always want to like share the cars we're doing and all that. And I just can't. And
can't
it's
for
like,
6 months or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause, yeah. Maybe one day I'll make an archive of all the photos from the road because
Right.
it's
You should make
Yeah.
one of those
Yeah.
videos like I did.
Yeah. No, it's fun. It's really fun to travel with the crew. 'Cause we get to go.
Where do you get to go?
I mean, this season we went up to Portland, which was like that was my favorite trip that
This
we've
is
done.
interesting. In my mind, you guys are just down there in Huntington. And
Yeah. I mean, if there's the right car somewhere else, we'll go travel to get that car.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's then covered on the show, like a road trip, or?
It's really just in Mike's opening drive where he says, I'm up
just like the old show. Okay, we're driving off to
and
Essex now, and we're gonna blah, blah. Okay,
exactly. So hopefully doing more of that in the coming.
I'm
coming
glad that
seasons,
what I had seen in the beginning, there was a little less of Mike, and was that just to kind of ingratiate Ant into?
I think so. I think
Or was
Mike,
it on the heels of there being too much Mike from the previous?
I don't know. At the first, when we first restarted, it was finding the footing for the show again, which I think Mike gave Ant more time just because of the comments that were said.
It's also it seems right. It feels right.
Yeah, and so
polite, right? You know what I mean? Just it feels right.
Yeah. And so now that they have this great chemistry and we're really rolling, I hope to see a bit more Mike, in the buying tips, because I mean, if I shot a vlog with Mike going around the car, we could have another series, just of Mike on these kind of
or a
adventures
YouTube show
and,
or something
and
like
trips.
that.
Yeah. So there's a lot of content out there that hopefully we can kind of.
This sounds like so much fun. It sounds like so much fun. It's a great time to be you.
Yeah, and I'm having fun just because it's cars, it's TV, which cars were my first passion, and then I'm really getting a passion for TV and storytelling, which is why with Nick Hunsiger, I went out with my roommate, who's one of the cam ops on the show.
Oh, that's right, you said that.
Yeah, and we went out to Laguna Seca to one of Nick's races and captured it.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, and we put a microphone.
Was that just a few weeks ago when he was up there? Oh,
yeah.
Great.
Yeah, and we put a microphone in his helmet. So to try to get a unique kind of perspective on the kind of content that
for breathing, or is he on the radio, or
for on the radio, just describing what's going on around him and what's going on in the course. And so hopefully we can put the editor from the show is editing it for us, and we all do this in our free time, and we're trying to put together something unique and that isn't out there in terms of content for even vintage racing.
Awesome. Was he in the Lotus?
Yeah,
very
Lotus
cool.
51. Yeah,
That's really cool.
Which is like, yeah.
Seeing that car going around Laguna Seca is pretty cool.
Yeah,
isn't it like you get transported to another time?
Yeah, and then there's 30 of them, all battling, and it sounds amazing, and it's a cool environment.
Had you been to Laguna Seca before?
Yeah, I'd raced her in go-karts. I'd done.
You've raced on the track?
Yeah, it was.
Can you tell us about that real quick, and then we probably got to wrap it up.
Yeah. So there was a 23-year hiatus on go-karting on Laguna Seca, and it was right when I was doing a lot of racing, and they were bringing it back, and I'd never done what's called road racing in karts, which is the massive tracks where they go to Sonoma, Thunderhill, and so I showed up. You have to run a silencer, and you run really long gears, and I was running a 100cc Yamaha kart, and going around the track is like basically flat out. You're at.
Well, what's that put at, like 12 horsepower or something like that?
I think under 20. Like it was just under 20.
Okay.
And so
that's a lot.
Yeah, so
my little 5-horse Briggs and Stratton, you know what I mean, was probably putting out 5, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah.
I'll be right with you. No, go ahead.
Yeah, so that would have been a little. That's been like the tractor race if you saw.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, but no, so it's about 90 miles an hour and 100 miles an hour if you're in a draft. Which is, and it's on these little tires and no suspension, so it's flat out. Really, like the corkscrew is like a lift and then back on it and kind of just like a dive down.
Yeah. You just bomb it.
Yeah. So it was amazing, and
you must just dive into the left-hander and then just turn right at the end.
And that was 40 carts on the track, and
you know what I mean. Like for a regular car, the track width isn't that much. For a go-kart, it's so narrow comparatively.
Oh yeah. It's like Daytona 500. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But there's corners, and it's it was crazy.
That's a wonderful experience.
I got second place, so I was like super thrilled. There was 40 people racing, and it was it was crazy.
So
it was crazy.
Maybe the autocross might be something you'd be into?
Yeah.
Or you wouldn't take your Cayman doing...
I've done it a couple times.
Oh, good.
I've done it a couple times. Yeah.
You still got a warranty, why not?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Oh, that's great. Gosh, that's great. All right, so more karting for you.
Yeah.
Do you still kart?
No, I need to get back into it. There's some tracks down here. It's hard living in Hermosa Beach in an apartment. It's
There's
like
a couple in Irvine though, which might be closer to you.
Yeah. It's just where do you put all your stuff? It's like it's a tough thing down here. But very soon I'll try to be back at the racetrack.
Okay,
and
good.
Yeah.
It just seems like I'm looking at you light up, and you
Yeah.
got second on a real road course. It's kind of like, why aren't you
What
doing
are
this
you
just
doing?
for fun? Yeah, because they've got the ones out at the one George does out at Fontana.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what they're called, but man, those guys go to town.
Yeah.
and that's you just ride. You show up and ride. You
Yeah.
don't need to bring anything.
Yeah, I've been out there, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I
Lot-
mean, bring
lot
your
fun.
gloves and helmet and whatever, and that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You've done that one?
I've driven there. I haven't done the race series, but
I haven't either.
this year I'm trying to go out there
Good
a
for
couple
you.
times and get back into it.
All right, I'm coming back to you. If there's anything we can ever do to help
Oh,
you, please use this as a resource.
Yeah.
Call us anytime. Feel free to come
Likewise,
back
yeah.
here anytime. If
No,
you ever
thanks
have
so
anybody
much.
else you want to send on the show, just
Yeah, no, for sure.
you're in the
I'm
show.
gonna say right now, I want videos from the thing that you're talking about. So please send those.
Oh yeah, no,
Okay.
definitely. Awesome.
I want to see it.
How did it feel doing this experience?
Oh,
Your first talk show experience?
amazing.
Yeah?
Amazing. Yeah.
You
Are
feel
we,
good
Good.
about it?
are we done?
We're still going.
Oh yeah,
But-
yeah. No. I mean, awesome. Like it's nerve wracking, but like you guys are so comfortable to talk to. And,
I hope you know that you were great, and I think you'll
Oh.
be very
Oh.
pleased when you watch it back.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Yeah. No. So much fun. So
All
much
right,
fun.
thanks for being here, man.
Oh,
You're
no,
amazing. I
thank
can't
you
wait
so
to
much.
get to know you better.
No, thanks. Yeah, thanks so much for having me on. It's really, really an honor. It's like, it's awesome.
I'll take it.
Awesome.
It's an honor to have you here too. Just so you know, that goes both ways.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
You know what though? Social media.
Oh,
How
Get
do
it
we
together.
follow
How do
you?
we follow you?
Hang on, and we'll
Wait.
do this whole thing live here. Figure it out. Oh, there's George. That's so funny. It's a
Hi,
picture of George
George.
on his motorcycle. It looks like he got pulled over. Just talking about him, the go-karting guy. He's on a ride. We call it a ride about, but he left September 1st on a motorcycle trip.
Whoa.
Tomorrow is 7 months. He's going down to
Wow.
the tip of South America. Started here.
Wow.
Down to the tip of South America. Back.
Jeez. That's a road trip.
That's where he is today. With a copper.
Jeez Louise.
Anyway,
Hi, George.
back to you. How do we find you on social media?
So I'm PCH driver, Pacific Coast Highway driver. Follow me on Instagram. That's where I'll be.
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Love it. Woo. And people like you are the ones telling me I'm supposed to do stuff like this. Do you
Yeah.
agree? I need to do that stuff. More of that
Yeah,
stuff.
no, it's huge. It's
That's
huge.
the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
If you ever have any advice or suggestions, we are open.
Open.
Because we don't, you know what I mean? Like we know
Definitely.
how to make an old school TV show.
Yeah.
We don't know how to apply the modern day internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for being here. You were awesome,
Thank you.
man.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Mrs. Ryan,
Yeah.
let's see. What do we have tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow we've got, I don't know if I'm saying this name right. Jan
Jan.
Karam?
Karen.
Jan Karam. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so much easier.
Yeah.
People at home might know her as one of Seinfeld's girlfriends from the Switch episode of Seinfeld, but she's a stand-up comedian
Yeah.
and been around and all sorts of stuff. She's going to be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
I can't wait.
And some more stuff this week. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
Mrs. Ryan,
Busy
I love
week.
the hell out of you.
I love you too.
We love the hell out of you.
Love you guys.
Thanks for
Love
being here,
you.
Sean. We love everybody at home. Please love one another, and we will be here tomorrow with Jan Karam.
Yeah. Karen.
Damn it. Jan Karam.
We'll
Have a
talk
great
to her
night. See you
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Wow, you're